Hey, real dealers, as you can see, once again, we are inside my Chucky by Lucky Houses Podio account for video number 2 of my top 6 inside Podio apps for automation systemization for your REI business. This is Charles Blair, the Mad Scientist, and in this video, we're going to go over what I like to call my Properties app. Now, let's go hit to the top of the screen and click on my Properties app to open it up. Now, the beauty of this Properties app is the automation that it has at your fingertips. Let's go inside and show you what I mean. Now, as in the last video, you could either start from the point of adding a property from scratch, or if you already have a property in your system, like we did the other day with the Seller Leads app, we could just click on it. So let's go ahead and click on the property that we worked on the other day, which is at 3752 Trent Road. So I'm going to open it up. And the great part about the Properties app is it basically interacts with all the other apps. In particular, it interacted with the Seller's Lead app. So as soon as I put the property address in the Seller's Lead app, it integrates with the Properties app, as well as some of the great features that's built into our Podio system. For example, it pulls the Google map, and it also pulls Google Street View. Now, we all know that sometimes that Street View from Google is not accurate. So let's just take that with a grain of salt. But everything has already been inputted previously from the fact that we put this in the Sellers app, and now it automatically moved into the Properties app. That's what we're talking about, automation and systemization. Now let's talk about how this app works. Once you're inside, you see that the actual lead is an active lead, and you have the opportunity to go from an active lead to a dead lead. And this one is an active lead, so we'll stay right here, and you see that right here at the status bar. Now we're going to go down to the section 1 for details from Zillow. The key part to this app is the built-in integration that it has. The built-in integration that I'm referring to is the fact that it's integrated with the Zillow API. And what does that mean? If the property is in Zillow, it will pull the tax information from Zillow as well as sales information that was put into Zillow as well. Now, take Zillow with a grain of salt because it's not always accurate. And I've found situations where the information was dead right wrong, especially when you're talking about bedrooms and bathrooms. But it gives my lead acquisition manager an opportunity to get a snapshot before we actually go into the tax records or before we actually pull the MLS listings of the actual property that we're going to work with. But if in this case, we're going to just take the information as, okay, we're going to go with it. So we'll go ahead to the top of the page, or should I say we'll go ahead to this section, and we'll click on Yes, Get Data. Now, the key to it is with every action, remember, it comes up over here in the activity section. And the action of Yes, Get Data pulled the actual tax assessment and sales information for the particular property that we're working on automatically. As you can see, it put in the bedrooms. It also put in the bathroom, actual size of the property, year of the purchase, year built, age of the property, the lot size, and a property worth based on Zestimate. It also pulled the actual last sold price and the actual Zestimate of the property. So this is handy when you just want to get a snapshot of that deal just by clicking a button. It actually pulled all the data from Zillow. Now I can take it even one step further. If I click on pull comps from Zillow, once again, you see the activity that just happened on the right-hand side. Remember, the activity field on the right-hand side shows you when every action has taken place and what action has done. Not mentioned, it tells you who started that action. So the action we started was pull comps from Zillow. Now, bam, it just pulled all the comps that's in Zillow that represents this property. So let's go down and see exactly what those comps look like. Here we go. We got a total of 5 comps from Zillow that represent that property. Now, remember, Zillow comps gives us a snapshot of what the value could be. Highly recommend you guys using either MLS, an agent to pull comps for you, or a program like Privy. And I'm going to include the actual banner for Privy right at the bottom of this page. So here we are, comp number 1. And the key to the integration that we have into the system is the fact that it actually pulls up the link to the actual comp and it gives you what the comp sold for. So property number 1, let's pull this one up. And it integrates directly with Zillow. It's taking a second. So we see that our subject property doesn't look like this. You see what I'm talking about when it comes to accuracy? Let's go back to our subject property. This is what our subject property looks like. It's actually a rancher. So let's go back and see if we can find a rancher as a comp, because this one came in at 350. That's wrong. The comp number 2, 170. There we go. This is getting a little better. There we go. So this one came in, it sold at 170. Looks like a rancher. We even got pictures. Pretty good condition. I wouldn't call this rehab. I would just call this, actually looked like it may have been some type of foreclosure or could have been some type of homeowner sale. But 170. Let's go back and see if we can find another one. So we know we're in the right range. Let's check this one out. This is the comp number 3. Wow, it is. And we got a 262 for, and this one is a rehab. There we go. So we got 262, 10 Cassandra Court, Randallstown, Maryland. So we could be around the 260, 270 range for comps based on what we found so far inside of the system. Now, this is where we would confirm the comps by using Privy. But this would give all of my team members an opportunity to actually pull the comps from the MLS using the system that we have, and then actually confirming these numbers that we find in Zillow. That's all Zillow is. It's just to give us a launch pad so that we can confirm the numbers in our actual MLS. Now, we think the comps are 262. Now, once again, all of this came from just clicking a button at the top of the screen, right here. None of this required any type of going on to your tax record or anything. And that's why I'm telling you guys, the automation that's built into this system, mind-blowing. Now, you haven't seen nothing yet. Now, let's say this property was a rehab project. Now, I know what I have here is what we call our rehab estimator built into the system. I can click on any one of these buttons and it will give me the rehab cost for the project based on how much work is needed. So let's just say I needed a mid-rental rehab for this property. I click on it and break down $26,550. It just spit out the actual cost it would take to rehab the project. And I have this calculator broken down to different types of rehabs, from just paint and carpet all the way up to a full gut rehab. And I even have it broken down for Baltimore City, Baltimore County, as you can see right here. But I also have it broken down for Washington, D.C. and PG County. And this is a great snapshot so that when you're on the phone talking to that seller, you can get an idea based on the questions you're asking that seller on the rehab costs. But wait, we ain't done yet. Inside of the Properties app, we can even factor in and figure out exactly what we should offer for this property as a wholesale or rehab type of deal. For example, if you notice in this area right here, we're able to put in our wholesale fees. So let's say we want to make $10,000 on this property. I'll put in $10,000 as my wholesale fee. Now, we have a final ARV number. Now, we already said that the ARV of this property is around 270, 280. So let's go ahead and put in 280 as the ARV, just for the sake of this exercise. Now, what's going to happen automatically is going to factor in what the cost should be if I want to buy it at 60% on the dollar, 65% on the dollar, 70% on the dollar, or 75% on the dollar. Since we usually use the number of 65%, so 65% means that I need to buy this deal at 172, in order to make 10,000 on it as a wholesale. And this is built into what we call our properties lead app. So this is the power of the properties app. All of this technology, all of this automation, all of this time saving systemization at your fingertips and ready for you to use today. This is Charles Blair, the Mad Scientist, and I'll see you guys in video number 3 of my top 6 inside Podio apps for automation and systemization for your REI business. Bye-bye.